Hey y'all, I'm setting up on Instagram. Give me 1 second. Y'all go ahead and rock out to the music. I ain't been on YouTube in a long time. We're gonna see how it works. We're gonna see how it works. All right, now let's try to get it aligned right. All right, I got Instagram and YouTube together. Hey, boos, we are here. Hey, 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 hey. Well, hey, Miss Mogul too. How you doing? You the first one in here. All right, let me fix my jewelry. I'm looking a little disheveled. A little disheveled. Got my good. I got on 2 glasses. I'm old. When I got glasses on my chest and glasses in my face, Lord. I was like, where my glasses? I ain't got no glasses. Hold on, YouTube. Oh, I'm on YouTube. I'm trying it. I had somebody say, sorry, I got an eyelash in my eye. Hold on. I had to stop for a second. Hey, hey, oh, hey, there it is. Oh, that's how you know I'm old. Hey, oh, okay. All right. That's enough of that. I had someone say, I tried to watch you on YouTube and I didn't see you on YouTube. I have not been on YouTube for so long because it kept glitching up on me. Same reason I don't be on Facebook, because it kept glitching up on me. I'm sorry, I'm looking for my cards because I know later we're going to have cards. Yep, I got them all. All right. So I'm trying the YouTube thing again. We're going to see how it works. So if any of you are YouTube watchers and you prefer that, I am currently broadcasting on Instagram and YouTube. So y'all going to see me looking both ways. All right. Anyway. All right. So I'm going to pull on back. Here we go. Everybody can see me. So I was going to talk about, hey, your daddy come. Well, that's a freaky name. Hey, Intuitive African Dance, how you doing? Welcome. This is Spiritual Tools Tuesday, where we talk about spiritual work. I was going to talk about this book that I was telling y'all about on Sunday, but I got sidetracked. And I feel like this is a more important conversation. So today we're going to talk about your spiritual essence, right? Your essence, because that's where all your power lies. And when people are trying to work, using doing any kind of sympathetic magic, they're using your essence to do it. You got the book. Which book did you get? Come on, tell us about the book. You know, I done told y'all about 8 different books. Which book you got? I was looking at some of the books that I talked about, what was that, 2 weeks ago? I gave a whole bunch of books. So if you're interested, go back and look at some of the Spiritual Tools Tuesdays from a couple of weeks ago. I got a whole plethora of handbooks. The Scout Mindset. Oh my God. I love that book. I am not finished with that book. I'm listening to the audio book on my library web page. No, my library app, which is Hoopla. Wait, no. I'm listening to that one on Libby, Libby. It's an app that you can download to your phone, and then you could connect it to your library card, which is free. Library card, so you get access to all these free books, and you don't have to pay for them. Winning at life. Anyway, so the Scout Mindset is a wonderful, wonderful little book that helps us to tackle our unconscious biases. Now, my other full-time job, I deal with equity, diversity, and inclusion. And so unconscious bias is something that we have to tackle in institutions and corporations because it affects how we treat people. And we don't necessarily recognize that we are acting in kind of ways based on our unconscious biases. So you have to have a way to kind of look at yourself by stepping outside of yourself. And so that book deals with that kind of mindset, but it also deals with things that we hold true that somebody told us, but we don't have no proof of. So, but we just holding on to it like, now I know that the sky is blue. And you'd be like, well, I mean, it depends on where you're at. Oh, perfect example. I grew up my entire life, my whole life, thinking the ocean was blue. And when I went to Costa Rica, no, where did I go? Dominican Republic. I said to the guy, I said, the water is gray today. It was blue yesterday. And he started laughing at me because he was like, the water is not blue. The water is clear. It reflects the sky. So the color that you see is the color of the sky. What? Oh, wait, hold on. Y'all, what? Y'all is messing up my whole understanding from when I was a kid. The ocean is blue. The deep blue sea. Ain't that what they call it? It is a reflection from the sky. So there are a lot of things that we accept as truth that is just truth because someone told it to us, right? And we don't have proof. But what happens is it's okay for you to believe those things. But where it becomes a problem is when you start getting evidence that those things are not indeed true and you hold on to the misinformation. You're like, no, you're wrong. No, you're a bad person because you're trying to tell me that this thing that I've been holding true for my whole life is not true. So that's where we get a lot of problems with politics and stuff because people believe that their thing is the truth. It is the utmost, like it's the only way that it can be. I used to do things in my former life. I was a drug and alcohol. Well, no, this was not when I was a drug and alcohol prevention specialist. This was when I was a gang prevention specialist. And I used to work with these kids, right? And so anybody who lived in Chicago knows that there's this whole South Side versus West Side thing. The South Side is like, oh, you can't go on the West Side, it's rough over there. The West Side is be like, oh, you can't go on the South Side, it's rough over there. So, but the truth is there are good parts of the West Side and there are bad parts of the West Side. There are good parts of the South Side. There are bad parts of the South Side. But people hold their beliefs about the other side and they never go to see what it's really like. So I used to work on Kedzie and Madison at the Bobby Wright Mental Health Center, which is a historical place because it's the first and might be the only African American founded and run mental health institution. Hey, the in tune mother, how you doing? Welcome to Spiritual Tools Tuesday. So anyway. So I left that place on the West Side and I went and I worked. Hey, Ava, Bella, the ball, welcome. I went to work on the South Side. Now, when I went to work on the South Side, everybody was like, oh my God, don't you work on that South Side. They're going to get you. I was like, man, if you don't shut up, I'm Black everywhere I go. And I'm going from this Black neighborhood to that Black neighborhood. It's the same. So I was working with these school-age kids, middle school kids. And one Saturday I said, we used to get in the van and we used to just go all over the city. We would go all over the city. And the kids, because they had this very limited mindset of just their neighborhood, just us leaving outside the neighborhood. And I'm saying this especially for the parents in the audience. Take your kids. The thing you will... How do I say this? You underestimate how small their world is, right? These kids was like 7th and 8th graders. And I took them to the park one day. And I said, we're going to roll down this hill. They said, we're going to do what? I said, we're going to roll down the hill. You ain't never rolled down the hill? He was like, nah. They were like, nah. How you do that? I said, so this right here is a hill. You start at the top, you lay down, and you just roll to the bottom. They wasn't having it. Till I did it. And they was like, okay, we're going to try it. Had the best day. They like, we got on the monkey bars. Now, when I was coming up, that's what kids did. They played in the playground. So I'm a big kid. So y'all, please don't be surprised at all these shenanigans. So I get on the monkey bars and I hang upside down. And the kids are like, what are you doing? You're going to die. And I'm like, wait, hold up. You in the 7th or 8th grade and you ain't never hung upside down on the monkey bars? They was like, no, ma'am. So we went one by one, everybody had their turn. And so through that experience, I'm teaching them to trust in themselves, but to also to do new things and to depend on each other as we do these new things. So they had a whole new experience. And this park was right in their neighborhood. We was down the street from the center that I worked at, that they all went to at the same time. So the other story I was going to tell you about these kids, there was a festival on the west side of Chicago, and they from the south side. So I'm like, all right, I'm about to take y'all to this festival on the west side. It was a back to school festival, and they was like, Miss Government Name. That's what it called, Miss Government Name. Miss Mama Lewa. We can't go on the west side. You done lost your damn mind. They gonna get us. I was like, so when we pull up in the van, you gonna look like some regular ass kids. You ain't gonna look like I'm from the south side. Everybody gonna know. Just come on. So we piled up in the van. We go to the west side. They scared as hell when we pull up. But they get out the van. Get your asses out this van. They get out the van. They walk around. Maybe about 5-10 minutes. I said, look, y'all could go walk around because it was like a carnival. So they had rides, they had food. It was people, the local artists was rapping and shit and dancing and stuff. It was a whole bunch of stuff. So and they was giving away backpacks and stuff, school supplies. Go have a good time. I'm right here. I can see all of y'all. Go have a good time. So at first they was right next to me. Then they started venturing out, right? So they're identifying their own unconscious biases. They're identifying this thing that was told to them that if you go on the west side, they gonna jump on you. It's gonna be a problem. Yeah, them people over there is crazy. But they went and they had a wonderful time to the point where when it was time to come back, they was like, no, wait, we just need 15 more minutes. Nah, look, I got a new friend. His name is such and such. What is you doing? You done made friends and now y'all done brought extra people to the van. What is happening? But in that moment, they learned that what I thought was true was not true. But they learned it because they were open to the experience. So that's what the scout mindset is about. It's about now as adults, we have to have more ways of questioning our reality. And this is really important if you're on a spiritual journey, because your spiritual journey, your spiritual awakening is really a questioning of everything that you thought you knew about the universe, about people, about God, man, about your powers and your ability to have agency within your life. All of that you are being challenged to redefine as you go on your spiritual journey. Oh, it was something I wanted to say about that. Now it's gone out my head. So, as we move from this very restrictive, fear-based religious way of looking at the world. Oh, that's what I was going to say. So when I do spiritual tools class, the very first class is a very simple class. It is just recognizing yourself as a spiritual worker, being able to manipulate energy, being able to make change in your environment. And one of the biggest lessons and the hardest lessons that we tackle in lesson 1 is there is no heaven or hell. Hey, a watchful soul, that messes up a whole lot of people's mind. They have to really sit with that. That and God is not judging you. Those two things are the hardest things for people to internalize. It makes sense to them, especially if you're like searching and you like this church thing. I love it. It has been the foundation of my life, but I feel like it's not, there's some things that's not working. It's missing. So you start to question, and the heaven hell thing is one of them things that's like, I believe it, but I don't, but I do, but I'm scared, but because it's fear-based. And so to open your mind to say that if God is all loving then how could there be a hell? Because who is all loving that's going to condemn you to an eternity of hell and just be like, oh, well, sorry, that's it. That's all you got. You shouldn't have. Is I'm not going to get on to the religious thing, but it's just about being able to assess new information. Okay. So that's why I like the scout mindset, because not only does it identify these patterns that we have, it actually gives us tools to use as we try to dismantle these belief systems. And they give you like these tests to do, these like mental tests to do, and they're not hard, and they're things that you can keep in your spiritual toolkit so that you have a way, an actual set of directions for questioning your own beliefs. So get the scout mindset. I love that book. I have the audio book again from Libby. Two good apps to have is Libby, Libby, and the other one is Hoopla, Hoopla, because you can connect that to your library card and you can get ebooks, you can get audiobooks, you can get with Hoopla, you can get movies, you can get music like albums and stuff, download them onto your phone. Now you can only keep them for a couple of weeks, but it's like the library. You got to turn it back in. Hey, She Travels Abroad. Welcome, welcome. I missed you. Hey, Funk Sama. Oh, I remember you from Sunday. I don't know how to say your name, but hey, letters. Okay, so today I want to talk about your essence. When we do spiritual work, we are moving energy. That's what I was saying about our first day of spiritual tools class. We are learning that we move energy, that there is, when they say there is power in the tongue, that the power of life and death is in your breath, it's real, because you speak into existence what it is you want to happen. Now, it is not on this elementary level where it's like, I want $1 million, and then all of a sudden $1 million is at your door. It does not work like that. That is not how God works. That's not how the universe works. If you be like, I'm hungry, and then I'm gonna manifest some food, the food might be in your pantry, but if you don't get up and cook it, you still gonna be hungry. So there has to be work with your prayers. So let's just get that out the way. But your essence is kind of like your DNA. So you know how the police now, they can like figure out who the killer is. I'm an ID channel fanatic. I'll be like, I'm gonna watch forensic files for 18 hours. Then I get up paranoid, like, who is that at the door? Is that a fan? What is the door's locked? Let me I'll be scaring myself to death. But I find it interesting that the smallest piece of anything is what they use to solve the crime. So it'll be like, he was laying in the trunk, and he didn't realize that the thread off his sweater was left in the trunk. We analyzed it and saw his DNA. We knew that was Pete from up the block. Like, what? In the 70s, that didn't happen. You had a fingerprint and that was it. But 2022, if you sneeze in the back of a car, they're gonna know you was in there. Plus, they got the cell phone to ting on the towers and stuff. So you have signatures. Hey, QT Rock, and hey, Sunshine Go Hard 6. I didn't call you Sunshine Negro today. Anyway, so we can understand that on a very secular level. We understand that there are ways for people to track you, right? I know I Googled some web service. I was like, I need this web service for Mama Lewa. And now every time I turn on my Fire Stick TV, whatever that thing is, or if I go on Facebook or if I go on YouTube, whatever, I get commercials for that thing that I searched 2 days ago, because they can track you, because the smallest thing is connected to the essence of who you are. Now that's on an electronic level, and we understand that, we accept that. But when we say spiritually, your essence is in the things that you put energy. Hey, thank you. I needed somebody to come to YouTube and tell me if it was working. I'm trying it and see if it worked. You tell me if you can stay on. Now, if I see you over on Instagram, then I know YouTube did not work. I'm over there on YouTube. Everybody say hey to Alma. She usually be over here as Deidre. You know. Anyway, so let's talk about your essence, right? So I wanted to give that example of start with the example of something that we're all familiar with, which is our DNA and how I'ma say it, hey Instagrammers, we are family. I got all my peoples with me. All right, and folks too. If you are from Chicago, you will understand that is a gang related joke. Anyway, um, where was I? I got sidetracked. So, um, the DNA thing, we all understand that. We understand trace evidence, right? We understand your fingerprints, the oil, the skin cells in your skin. Like she had his skin cells under her fingernails, right? So carry that. We say as above, so below. The same is true spiritually, right? So you need to be mindful of your essence, of the things that carry your essence, your DNA, your signature, right? So I'll give you a little example. I used to have a Senegalese husband, and I went to go visit his family in Senegal. He stayed in Chicago because we was not wealthy, so only one of us could go. So I got to go to meet his family. For 2 weeks before I went to Senegal, this is all I heard. Do not eat anything anybody gives you except for my parents. If anybody offers you any drinks, food, snacks, or anything of the sort, you kindly and politely refuse. Do not eat anything. I was like, well, damn. I said, well, I'm going to see your family. Why can't I eat their food? He was like, trust me, don't eat nothing. So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. I ain't gonna eat nothing. I get to Senegal, and I meet his parents and everything. And it's a tradition that they take you around the family. You got to go see the auntie, got to go see the cousins, got to go see little sisters, blah, blah, blah. The grandfather, like, okay, I'm going to take you to see the family. And when I go take you, you don't say nothing. Don't eat nothing. Don't eat nothing. Nothing. I said, what if they offer, because they just like the Southern people. As soon as you hit the door, they like, you want something to drink? You need something to eat? Here, we got some fruit. You want some? I said, what I'm supposed to do? He said, just tell them, oh, no, I just ate. Thank you, though. So every time we went somewhere, I had to tell them, okay, I got to go. I just ate. So one time I almost slipped up and the grandfather was like, and it was like the auntie. And he was like, I was like, oh, no. We're going to eat right after this. So thank you. So here's the stilo on that. Just y'all think we don't eat everybody food. Like that's one of them unconscious biases, one of them things that was passed from generation to generation, right? You don't eat everybody food. It ain't because they can't cook. It's because you don't know what they putting in the food to hook your ass up, right? And I'm sorry. I got sidetracked because I got a message. Technology was like, you have a text message. I was like, and you can't do that. You live, Mama. Like, why are you live? We can see you. Anyway, hey, say so. So, and welcome back. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. So you can't eat everything people make because they can put herbs and blah 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 and all kind of little incantations and the words and stuff. And it doesn't even have to be that they're trying to jinx or trick you or put an X on you. It can be, I am angry. And so this angry energy is going into the food. You should not eat that, especially if the person is angry at you, because that carries energy and that energy resonates within you. Hold on. Hey, love. Good to be back. Trying to get it together. That's all we could do. Take it one day at a time. So it's one thing for them to not have any of your essence. And so their energy is what you have to be mindful of. Are they depressed? Are they sick? And not just like, are they sick? And so they're going to get it in the food, but the energy of sickness. Sometimes you eat something, excuse me, or you interact with somebody and their energy is now your energy. You are now feeling sluggish. You are now feeling depressed. You are now, we all know these psychic vampires that are like, let me just dump all this energy on you. My mama did this and last time and I was sad. And then when you finish talking to them, you're drained because that's an exchange of energy. So there's that level, which is just you absorbing the energy that is around the person, right? But there are ways for people, especially spiritual workers, to incorporate your essence in their work. And this is the dark side of spiritual work. If someone has, so the things you want to watch out for, your hair, which is why you're supposed to cover your hair around certain people, you know, your hair, your fingernails, um, things that you've eaten or drinking, things that you have drinking off of. Why? Again, just like the police, that has your DNA on it. So think about the crime scenes or when the police are interrogating people and they like, hey, we got you a nice cold drink. And you be like, thanks, officer. All right, then I don't know what you're talking about. I did not have anything to do with that crime. And then they be like, okay, we understand. And then they go pass the can over to their friend over there to run into forensics. Yes, because it has your DNA. It has your essence. So the same is true spiritually. You at somebody's house, thank you. Now they got you. Boop, boop. They licked off this spoon. They ate off this fork. Boom, I can do work. I can do work. Your picture, your name. So it used to be a thing where, you know, you wouldn't tell somebody your full name. You might tell, piece of light. So, you know, I'm a reader and they have all these fictional books that incorporate spiritual stuff and mysteries. They be fighting like vampires and things. You know, the vampire books and things like that. So I used to talk about Dresner. I think that's his name. I used to talk about him all the time. I used to read his books all the time. And one of the things that he would do, because he was a detective, but he was also a wizard. And so when he would come up on like the elves and stuff, and they'd be like, what's your whole name? And he'd be like, I ain't finna tell you my whole name. And he'd be like, curses, foiled again. And they'd be trying to torture him and stuff. He'd be like, I'm not telling you my whole name. And one lady was like, she had like his first name and his last name. She didn't know his middle name. He was like, you can't get me. And that's real stuff. If people know your entire name, they can do stuff. If they know your name and your birthday, they can do stuff. Now, I know spiritually people be like, that don't even make sense. But it's the same as above, so below. If somebody could take your name and your birthday and run your credit rampant, why you don't think they could take your name and your birthday and run your spirit rampant? It's the same thing. So you want to be mindful of who you telling your intimate things to. Who are you leaving your stuff around, right? I have had stuff where people have given me things, have said, hey, I made this for you. And I have to take it home and check it. And you should too. So when people give you intimate things, like things that you can wear or things that you keep in your home. Matter of fact, I just had a client. They were having a really bad run of bad luck, right? Like I lost my job, then my landlord was gonna put me out, then me and my family started fussing. It was just like back to back to back to back to back. And so we do this is and this is a shameless plug. This is how the life counseling sessions go, life coaching. We did a reading to see what was the issue. And the issue was someone had put roots on you, like for real, someone had put roots on you. And the way they did it was they gave them something and was like, hey, This is a gift because I love you. You my friend. I take this. And they kept it in their house. And keeping it in their house was what was keeping that energy of destruction and chaos in their house. I was like, I don't know what somebody gave you, but you got to get it out your house. So when people are doing stuff to you, just think about, I mean, they look, white folks be telling y'all that they don't believe that shit and that it's the devil and they give her an apple. She gave her a poison apple. The apple put her to sleep. It wasn't poison, it was cursed. It put her to sleep. She was in an enchanted sleep. That's a curse. And how she get her? With an apple. Go eat this. Don't eat from everybody. So now that we are becoming more spiritually aware, we need to understand the power of our essence, right? And also, like for people who are the spiritual workers for their families, you need to understand that when you're dressing a candle, say for instance, you're dressing a candle for the household and you want peace in your home. It's one thing to dress a candle and pray for peace. It's another one to dress that candle and put it next to your family, because that candle is now extra charged. It's saying these are the people that this candle is for. That's how the essence works. You're telling the candle, this is what I'm praying for. Just like when you do a vision board and you say, this is the thing that you are supposed to bring to me. It has more power because now it is a tangible thing. Right? So like when we talk about, let's talk about voodoo dolls. The reason a voodoo doll is a thing is because they take the essence of people, their hair, they take their fingernails, they take something they wore and they put it inside the thing and they put the energy on that. It ain't rockets. I mean, it is rockets. It's a science. So if somebody has good intentions for you, then they're praying. You know, your grandmama used to pray. I want to pray for this person. I'm praying protection for this person. I'm praying blah, blah, blah. And they will have you in mind and they will pray for you. And that energy would keep you safe when you was out in the street doing dirt. That is the same thing as somebody praying negative stuff for you. It is the intention and the energy and the essence. It becomes more powerful if you're holding the thing that the person owns or the person has worn. It's just like with the dogs. I need you to find this person. Here go their sweater. Sniff on it. Sniff on the sweater. Oh, wait, I got him now. They went that way. It's the same thing with spiritual work. All right. Does this make sense to y'all? Come on, y'all talk to me so I know if I'm making sense. Because y'all quiet. And when y'all get quiet, I get worried. Does this make sense? Did you need to know this information? Is this something that is interesting and clear now? Just let me know. Deidre, is you still over there in YouTube land? Because YouTube told me that it was having problems. I just want to know. Yes, it does. Thank you, Lisa Love. Thank you, Lisa. Have you heard this information before? If you knew something like this, tell me what you knew. Tell me which part of this resonates with you. I definitely needed to know. Thank you, Letters. That's your name now. Thank you, Letters. I definitely needed to know. You've got me over here checking everything. I know that's right. Let me put my gloves on. I'm really going to watch what I take from people. Yes. Listen, let me tell y'all something. I have had people, this real talk, give me money that was hexed. And I'm like, and so this is why we do our meditations. This is why we do our prayers, because it heightens our senses, right? And you begin to recognize how your body and how your spirits tell you that something ain't right. So they gave me the shit, and I was like, this don't feel right. Take it over to my peoples. And I had to pray over it. And they was like, nah, don't fuck with that. You need to cleanse that. You need to cleanse that. So that is part of the spiritual self-care. Once you know what it is that is happening. You know, somebody that took something from you and they put a hex on you, they got negative energy, or they sending energy to you. You got to know, number one, how to cleanse it. Number two, how to protect yourself. It's basic knowledge. Hold on. Excuse me, YouTube. I guess Alma did not stay with us on there. Intention and prayer is something I was familiar with, peace and light. But having things and or info about the person is something new. It makes a lot of sense the way you put it, as above, so below, peace and light. I need to meditate so my ears can be strong. Yes. And it's like, so, you start to recognize the little flipping in your stomach, or the tingling in your arms, or the goosebumps on the back of your neck. Those things mean something. I remember when I first started having psychic attacks. So when I was in Chicago, I was fairly protected. I don't know if I was protected or just like wasn't nobody fucking with me. But I came to New Orleans and it was on like a chicken bone. And I was like, I think something is happening. And they was like, yes, something is happening. You need to recognize this feeling you got. And I was like, shit, what does it mean? And they was like, it means somebody is doing some dirt. Okay. So it took like 4 years of going through this situation for me to learn how to identify when I was in danger, when there was some bullshit in the game, somebody was throwing something at me. Throwing something at me means somebody was doing put a curse on me, or trying to put a curse on me, trying to hex me up, whatever. And then I had to learn psychic self-protection. I had to learn how to cleanse. I had to learn how to protect my house. I had to learn how to put shields up. I had to learn how to do sigils. I had to learn about herbs. I had to learn about spiritual baths. I had to learn all the shit that I be telling y'all from real life, right? Real life. Now I knew some because my mama, like I said, my grandmama, my mama, my great grandmama, they all did this shit. But I didn't. When you coming up with it, it's like if your mama know how to cook, you gonna know how to cook some stuff, but you ain't gonna really learn how to cook until you got a house of your own and be like, shit, I'm hungry. How my mama made that meatloaf that time? I don't know. Mama. And so you ain't gonna learn it until you in it, right? So I was in it. And that's when I learned the true connection to know when something is not right. That's your first line of defense. Something ain't right. So quit ignoring when you walk up on people and your spirit be like, I don't like them. That is a blessing right there, because it lets you know. And something, now me, I'm extra. I'm a Capricorn. So I'll be like, fuck them. I ain't talking to them then. And my spirits be like, look, no, it's not that. It's just that they're cut them off. I'm like, oh, don't cut them off. Because they be like, don't cut them off. Just be aware. Oh, okay, just be aware. So, there's levels to this. So as you start to, now, where does this come into play for you? What is the positive in knowing about your essence? So we're always talking about clearing your house, creating things for protection, creating things to clear the energy, creating things to attract your blessings. You make them stronger by adding your essence, right? You make them stronger by putting pieces of yourself into the work. So if you're doing a money candle, the one good way is, I got to get it all together. Say you're trying to get a job, a specific job. Printing out the job description, taking a picture of the place that you want to work, having the full name of the person who is interviewing you. Those things bring life and energy to the candle that you're working, right? So it yes, you could get a green candle and be like, I need a new job. And the green candle, like, okay, they want a new job. I'm gonna work on that. It's important. Yeah. But if you put the picture of the job you want and you put the name of the position with the salary up underneath the candle, and then in your prayers you say, hey, help me to say the words that the general manager, Bob Smith, is going to need to hear so that he knows that it's me he needs to hire. Now The candle and the work has some very specific directions, right? So that's where this knowledge, as above, so below, comes in. We have to layer our stuff. If you're doing prayers for your children, you want to calm their spirit, you want to help them away from a toxic relationship, then use the essence of your children. Now, I know that sounds creepy, but you got to put their name on the candle if the candle is for them. Put their name and their birthday on the candle because it is for them. There are zodiac candles, and we talked before about different types of candles. This is way back. A zodiac candle was one of the candles we talked about. So if you get the zodiac sign for yourself or for the person that you're praying for, then that gives it more energy. All right. Any questions before I move on? And let me just throw it out there. Big stars or little stars? I'm sorry. Big stars or little stars? What we doing? Big stars or little stars? Any questions about the essence that you carry around? Things you can do to protect your essence. Number one, cover your head. Cover your head, especially if you are in an environment that is filled with toxic people. There's a lot of anger and argument. Big stars got it. A lot of anger, arguments. If you got hidden enemies that you are worried about, or if you got, people that don't like you, cover your head. And I'll be wondering if wigs count. Because your head is covered. You know what I'm saying? But, put a scarf on, put a hat on, that kind of thing, to protect your head, protect your essence. You can put a shield up. I remember, and I told y'all this before, when I used to be a professional dancer, that's a very competitive space, and you have to get in your zone so that you don't fuck up. And I used to have to shield myself. I know, not wigs. I'm silly. Welcome to the family. And I used to have to shield myself. So I would shield up my energy so that other people's energy would not interfere with mine. Be mindful where you comb your hair. Be mindful what you do with your hair. That's why your grandmama used to say, go on in there and burn that hair on the stove. So burnt hair, fire destroys the energy. That's why when you're cleansing, fire is a cleanse. So if you combing your hair, don't leave that shit just sitting on the counter. Especially if you got guests. Foo-foo. Gotcha. Clipping your nails. Boom, 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 boom. Don't let them just fly over the living room, all on the bedroom floor. You got to sweep them things up and throw them flush them down the toilet. That's how you do that. You flush them in the toilet. Oh, y'all said big stars. All right. Big stars it is. Let's see what we got. We had a good card Sunday. I hope we ain't mess it up. Sometimes they be like, you get 2 days with them cards. Now we about to give you the hammer. Yeah. Do 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 da 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 da. Bow 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 bow. Deidre, if you still there, give me a sign. I think you got disconnected. I'm not sure. All right. Card for today. I don't know. They've been messing with the universe and stuff. Y'all know they did that experiment. Oh, well, it's upright. Thank God. Oh, wait. Let me not talk too soon. Oh, we got the King of Wands. King of Wands. We like him. We like him. We like him. So, if you are looking for a significant other, the King of Wands represents a mature man. That's how you know I'm telling the truth. Anyway, a mature man who is adventurous, who thinks and is innovative. He's fun. He's laughter. He's lighthearted, and he's a little bit magical. So we like the king of Wands. Now the thing about the King of Wands, they're a little flighty sometimes. If you want stability, that's the King of Pentacles. But if you want fun, he the good time guy, and he come with a wand. Anyway, if this is work related, hey Trees Denise 89, welcome. If this is work related, then the King of Wands represents an advocate for you, someone who is a good person to talk to. He's a good mentor because he can think outside the box. He can tell you different ways to look at a situation. He can make things happen. Um, what else? Let me see what I'm getting. Oh, my glasses. I got two pair. He's passionate and he's he's not well taken care of, but he's like he's up in status and stature. Um, because there's a lot of gold in this. So these are golden opportunities. When we were talking about the Nine of Cups that came up on Sunday, the King of Wands goes right in alignment with that, because that gives us an idea of where our wishes are coming from. There is a King of Wands out there helping to move and shake things. Might be protecting you a little bit, might be speaking your name in certain circles and giving you a big up. Yes, we like the King of Wands. If the King of Wands is spirituality, those of you who are on a spiritual journey, there might be a man, now not the ones in your DMs talking about they can give you E5 and give you a reading from your ancestors, not them. But this is someone who is lighthearted but very wise, who has been through a lot, who has earned his stripes, but who still has a light heart and is happy, and is joyful in his journey. And he's this one specifically is knowledgeable with roots, with prayer, with maybe like baths, maybe he can cook, like that kind of thing. And those of us that's back in the relationship thing, the King of Wands can cook, so that's a good thing. So we like this. We like this. It's an advocate. It's a significant other. It's a new boo. But it's an older, more established, more mature person who has found a way to incorporate all aspects of himself into life and to be successful in all those realms. If this is you, then that means that you are finally making it to that part of life where you can enjoy all the work that you've done and enjoy the fruits of your labor. I like King of Wands, especially off of that Nine of Cups. Yes. Well, we done. Asia, you came at the end. We was talking about the essence of your DNA in spiritual work and how that is used. It's the Zaddy card. Yeah. And how it can be used to enhance your spiritual work, but also how it can be against you. So one thing we learn as we become more spiritually mature is that there are two sides to every coin. You can pray for protection for someone, but you can also like do an attack on somebody. So it's not that spiritual work is evil. It is that people can use spiritual work for good or evil. And it's a choice every time. You have a choice. We are whole beings. I hate to tell people this. It's good you've been busy. That's good. I've been seeing you on the line doing your thing. So spiritually speaking, you got to recognize that we are not all good and we are not all bad. So it's not like the very kindergarten way of looking at spirit, like if you walk in the righteous path, you're gonna be good at all times. That's why we get, so remember I said in the beginning, if we have things that we have been taught that does not make sense, we have to have the way to question that so we can adjust our belief to incorporate what is true. Now, if it were true that if you are a good person, you just gonna do good things, we will not always be mad at our leaders who show the shitty side of them all the time. You are a whole person, which means you are good and bad in the same skin. What happens is you make a choice in the moment. Sometimes you make a good choice, but we all know there have been times when we have made bad choices or negative choices. We've done bad things, but whatever. A lot of times you don't do the bad thing. You do what is necessary in the moment. For example, maybe you're not a thief right now, but maybe at some point in your life you was hungry and didn't have no money and you stole something. Stealing is bad. But if it helped you to eat in that moment, it was what you needed. It wasn't that you were a bad person and you just a thief. It was that in that moment, them was your choices. You took that choice. So we have to expand our understanding of good and bad to include the situation in which you make the decision, to include that people might make a decision when they 20 that they 50, they not making that decision. Or we got to also understand that some people make that decision when they 20 and they 50, they still making that decision. So we can't treat them like they not making them kind of decisions still. Spiritual discernment. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so it's been a good Spiritual Tools Tuesday. I hope this was helpful for you all. I have openings this week. If you all would like some life coaching, please go to www.calidly.com/Mama Oh, I was going to type it into my phone, but that does not work. You wouldn't believe the one thing I've ever shoplifted. A deck of tarot cards. Them was your cards. See what I'm saying? Them was your cards. You can't tell me no different. Them cards was for you. Now, what is the card that represents for entrepreneurs? Pentacles. Pentacles are finances. So, like a page of pentacles would be a new entrepreneur, someone who's stepping out on faith and trying to learn the ropes. But an old entrepreneur who like really know what they're doing, that's a king or a queen of pentacles. Yes, pentacles. But it can also be, entrepreneurs can also be wands, because wands are about change and adventure and doing new things, right? And working on your ideas and your passions. That's a wand. So entrepreneurs could be one or the other. It depends on what the other cards are. I'm just saying. I didn't know. Y'all be trying to trip me up. I'll be like, I don't know. Let me sound like I know what I'm saying. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, it would, y'all know what I say. Get a reading. Get a reading. I'll let you know it, because they'll let you know. Did y'all like my new thing about life coaching? Let me know if y'all like it. Go on and look at the post I did for life coaching. It's black and white with colors. And tell me if y'all are gonna be like, we like this, we don't like this. I'm trying to try new things, but I need some feedback. So y'all say, this helped, this makes sense, this was dumb, I ain't like it, I did like it. I'm not gonna be sensitive. I really need to know what works and what doesn't. So, all right, y'all. Thank you, newbies. Thank you, newbies. We'll be back here. So Friday we do Friday Fun Day, and I'll probably do a dance. And then Sunday we do Sunday check-in at 7 Central Time. That's just 30 minutes. And then on Tuesdays we do Spiritual Tools Tuesday from 8 to 9 Central Time. All right, letters. It was nice talking to you again. Thank you for coming on back. Mwah. Sending love to you, Asia. Mwah, mwah. All right, Deidre, I think you're gone, but I'm still sending you kisses. Mwah. All right, y'all. Peace. Oh, and my hair is still long. I just twisted it up. It's just in a little curly doodad. Yay, I'm glad. Thank you. And if you'd like a reading, DM me. That's the easiest way. But also go to Calendly so you can get your date secured. But inbox me if you need a reading. I got openings this week, y'all. I always have to tell y'all because I'll be forgetting. All right. Peace. Who going first? I forgot about this part. All right, I'm going to end YouTube first. Bye, YouTubers. All right, YouTube is gone. Bye, Instagram.